Who welcomed Paul and Barnabas? Yeah. So all the apostles of Jesus welcomed Paul. Take note to take note to. How many of you have heard rumors that Paul was on his own? There's a preacher in Lagos that says that Paul was a fraud. That is like a fraudster. That is like nothing for Paul. Like the books, all the writings of Paul should not be in the Bible. He's a pastor. Paul is a I don't know if you understand. You don't quote Paul. That is have nothing to do with Paul. That means everything from Romans down. In fact, Acts of the Apostles. I don't know how you handle Acts of the Apostles. The problem is that it's not Paul that wrote Acts of the Apostles. It's Luke who wrote the book of Luke. I wonder if he accepts the book of Luke. I'd like to know if he accepts the book of Luke. Because the guy who wrote Luke wrote Acts of the Apostles, of which what percentage is about Paul? 80, 90%? I wonder how to explain that. Someone wrote a book called it Acts of the Apostles and talked about one person 80% of the time. Are you guys thinking, or do you think? Because I have a problem. My brain insists on thinking of things. I try to tell it to calm down sometimes. He refuses. It tells me brains are for thinking. Wait, first, talk to me. This Luke, he was Paul's guy. Have you read the book of Luke? Is Paul mentioned in it? Which one did he write first? The book of Luke or the book of Acts? You're not sure. You're not sure. You need to look at Acts chapter 1, verse 1. Acts chapter 1, verse 1. Let's be sure, okay? It's okay. Let's do the Bible study at once now. But we're out of time. In my first book, O Theophilus, I wrote about all that Jesus began to do and teach. This is Acts of the Apostles. So which one do you think is his first book? So the Acts of the Apostles is his second writing. I repeat, is it about Paul? So this guy is like a historian. Yes, a recorder, a scribe. And he goes around studying and he's studying. Who do you think gave him the content of the book of Luke? Who do you think? Now they want to read the beginning of the book of Luke. Bros, just keep up with these people. They are disciples. The disciples can be slow. Oh yeah. Many have undertaken to compose an account of the things that have been fulfilled among who? Did he say us? Does he include himself? So he was a believer. Is that agreed? Not an unbeliever. This is not Josephus, whom we don't know what he believed completely. Just as they were handed down to us by the initial eyewitnesses and servants of the word. Who is the word? Who handed down these stories to him? Is it from hearsay? It's first-hand witness. And that would be who? The apostles. Have we settled it? This is never subject to argument. Now that you know it, you know it. So when you go out and you're talking to someone and someone brings some funny story, you tell them, I don't know what you're saying. This is why you must know the word. Back to where we were. Acts chapter 15. Luke did not work for Paul. Now I can ask again. Was Luke Paul's guy? Now Paul bring him. I suspect before Paul ever knew God, Luke had done his work. Did you hear him say that other people have written about the accounts? Who would be examples of those who have written? Matthew, Mark. He said others. He didn't say one. He said others. It is believed that John was written much later. I believe so too. John is not just a record of what Jesus did. John is a theological work. The book has a plan. It's arranged according to a pattern. It's very unique.